Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural My Third Place podcast on My Third Place Network. I would like to apologize to everyone firsthand, of course. I know I should have said something 2 weeks ago, or at least posted a throwback episode while I was gone. But, I had a little bit of downtime, took a road trip down to Texas, and now we're back with another awesome block of episodes. I am your host, Evo, and with me, due by popular demand, she's been demanded by all these other people popularly. I don't know what I just said. My co-host, Brandy. Say hi,
Hi.
Brand.
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks for having me
Hey.
back. Hey.
You are
Hello.
very popular. You're very popular, ma'am, among people that want to hear you talk about Cobra Kai.
Yes, I guess I'm loved by the public.
And she agrees to it. So we are back with two awesome breakdowns of our rewatch of season 1 of Cobra Kai, episode 6 titled Quiver and episode 7 titled All Valley. But before we get to the episode breakdown, as I mentioned on the trailer of the podcast earlier in the week, we are changing the name, but not what the podcast is about. I've had the name From Under the Apron for 2 years now, and I'm in my 3rd year, and I figure it's time to move along. And not only am I talking about just wrestling, though, but this podcast also talks about other stuff, movies, TV shows, mental health issues, my diabetes, whatever the heck, anything that I would like to talk about, horror movies, mostly comic book stuff, everything. So this podcast started out about wrestling, and with it comes change, right? We need to evolve. Like, we need to grow. So what better way than to move forward than by changing the name of it? This is My Third Place. And the only way to describe this podcast, Brandy, do you know how we would describe this podcast as now?
A neat mess of yogurt.
A neat mess of a yogurt. Due to everything that was the breakdown that we had last episode
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No, it's been a little bit longer, but yeah.
Yeah, more than 2 weeks. Okay.
Our last episode we reviewed, yes. Neat mess of
Our
yogurt.
last episode. It was a neat mess of yogurt. Like a little inside joke there on Cobra Kai. And you know what? We are a neat mess of yogurt. We have everything spilled into one little mess of a podcast. How does that sound to everybody? Would you like to listen to a neat mess of a yogurt? Why
I know I would.
you want to? Exactly. Well, why wouldn't you want to listen to a neat mess of a yogurt of a podcast? So here we are. And with that comes mail. We have mail. I need a soundboard.
You need that one sound, AOL sound. You've got
the
mail.
AOL sound. We've got mail. We're going to get
mail.
that. We have 2 emails to read. The first one says, E, your co-host totally knocked it out of the park. Ooh, she was a bit stiff at first, but by the end, totally amazing. Look at that. You should totally have her do more with you. I have added you to my YouTube sub list so I can keep track. I am not biased. You are. Parentheses. I don't know what that means, but okay. That comes from Micro. Thank you, Micro, for your honest opinion. And the second one comes from our favorite, Dawn. She writes in, "Hi, E. Another fantastic episode on your podcast. Retract episode title, because we're going to change it. I enjoyed this one even more since I was caught up on the shows you and Brandy discussed. A few things. Oh, she has a few things. She has notes, ma'am.
Oh.
Let's read her notes. 1, California nor the West Coast does not take responsibility for the term joshing around or joshing you. Okay, good to know. I was just joshing about it, but all right. Cool. However, we do take credit for the word hella. In fact, oh, she brought out the facts. Look at her. It originated in my current hometown of Oakland, California. I do know that it came from the Bay. Of course, I have hella people from the Bay. You know what I mean? She'll know what that means. Don will know what that means. Just tell me when to go, Don. Just tell me when to go. See what I did there? Little E40 fact. Anyway, number two. She has more. Number two, Aisha. I love her. I can't wait to see how her character develops and is used against the silly mean girls.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And number three, Cobra Kai is really getting good. So I am looking forward to watching more episodes and hearing more of your podcast with Brandy. Thank you for doing what you do. Signed, Dawn. Dawn, thank you very much. We really appreciate you.
We love you, Dawn.
We love Dawn. Thank you for sending me these two emails. She's going to get mad when she finds out we have a new email address.
Make sure you say it slow at the end.
This is the best thing she'll ever get to hear because I changed the name of the episodes. I changed the name of the podcast. I went ahead and changed all the socials. Now she doesn't have to worry about, hey, what's your email again? It's easy. You can send us more messages about the podcast, the shows we are watching, or just give us a shout out at, ready for this? M3P Network at gmail.com, and I will read them on the air. The email address will be in the show notes where the description of the show. You can get it there. Click on it and send us an email. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think. Give us a review. We're open for that. Okay, let's get on with Cobra Kai. Now, if you heard any of the past episode breakdowns in the past, or if you're new here, we are massive Karate Kid and Cobra Kai fans. So we are going to break down the episode scene by scene and tell you how we thought about them. Right?
Yes, let's go.
I do sometimes tend to add in trivia or ask the questions for you to ponder over. It's what we do here. If you want to listen to past episodes of Cobra Kai and what we thought about them, I suggest you go back and listen to episode 154 and then continue on from there. This is Cobra Kai Season 1, Episode 6 on Netflix. Written by Joe Piarli and Llewyn Thomas, who are team writers, and they wrote for the epic TV musical 2015 Gallivant and The Tick. It was directed by Josh Held, who is known for writing Hot Tub Time Machine and the sequel, Hot Tub Time Machine 2. There's a sequel? I didn't realize. Okay. Synopsis: Johnny's dojo attracts a group of misfits while his son, Robbie, who harbors ulterior motives, lands a new job. Samantha makes a new friend in science class. Daniel inspires interest in karate from an unlikely person. Okay, the episode opens with a set of definitions. Quiver, verb, tremble or shake with a slight rapid motion. Noun, a slight trembling movement or sound, especially caused by fear. Noun, obsolete, a group of cobras. So a quiver is a group of cobras. So if you see a group of Cobra Kais around, they're known as quiver. They're quivering around you. And, better get to a higher ground. Cold open to a flashback in 1979 in Encino Hills, California. 12-year-old Johnny Lawrence puts on his state-of-the-art futuristic auto-reverse Sony Walkman number WMF77 that was introduced in 1986. Wow. Yes, the Walkman was introduced on July 1st, 1979 with the TPSL2 and did not become available in the US until June 1980. Auto-reverse would not have existed in Walkmans until 1982 with the WM7. So it's kind of a goof that they did this. unless it's in Johnny's mind. He probably remembers it this way. When somebody says, 30 years ago, they were doing this and blah, 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 and they remember calling their friend on their cell phone, and you're just like realizing, wait, 30 years ago? Cell phones didn't exist 30 years ago.
Oops.
Not how I remember it, buddy. Okay. Johnny goes on a bike ride listening to Boston's Don't Look Back, where he discovers the original Cobra Kai dojo. He peeks through the window where a younger sensei, Kreese, is teaching his students the way of the Cobra Kai and yelling the motto, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Johnny backs up and we see the Cobra Kai logo. Oh, freaking Boston, Don't Look Back. Already. There's where his taste in music lies, right there, all the way back then.
Right, when he was 12 years old.
Or even younger. He's all like, I want to listen to this badass music.
It was badass music.
It is badass music.
It still is, yeah.
It still is, yeah. Don't Look Back. In the present day, he observes a new crop of students drawn to his dojo and still watching that cafeteria fight from the last episode. It's gone viral, so everybody's still watching it. Like, bro, how many times do you need to watch this fight? Okay, it's on YouTube. Dimitri is reluctant to join, but Eli persuades him to try it out after Miguel beat up Kyler. Dimitri says it goes against anything he stands for. It's like going to gym class for no reason. He doesn't want to fight. Johnny quiets them all down and walks over to them, ridiculing them and denouncing them all as losers and nerds. Yeah, because, on your first day, I just want to learn how to fight and you're calling me a nerd? No way, sir. Meanwhile, Daniel has resumed his regular training routine, but yearns for someone to train with. He approaches Sam, who's relaxing near the swimming pool, but she is too dejected by having become the target of Yasmin's cyberbullying to participate. He makes his way back inside the house to the kitchen where he asks his wife if he goes to spin class with her. Maybe she can spar with him in the dojo. She laughs and asks if Sam said no. Amanda reminds him what happened 10 years ago, the last time they tried to do karate, and points to Anthony, who is playing video games.
His adopted son. I'm just kidding. That's just I know, but we don't know this for sure. That's just our opinion.
Theoretically.
Yeah, it's our theory.
Daniel walks over to where his son is playing video games and asks him to do karate with him, which again, stating my theory, he hates his son. Why else would he have asked him last? Like, he goes to Sam first, and then his wife, and then looks over at freaking Anthony. Oh, playing video games? All right, I guess I could ask him. Let me go check. Hey, do you want to go do some karate? No, Dad, karate is fake and boring. Well, fuck you. Give me your controller. Anthony says the karate is boring. Daniel tells him the game he's playing, Tekken, is actually karate. It is. Tekken is all forms of martial arts. And
that is one of my favorite games, by the way. Just saying.
I've only played it once.
I love Tekken.
I think a few years ago, the newest one was from a few years ago. It's like I've only played it once. I wasn't interested in it at the time. Tekken 1, probably because of it's too much like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, but I already have these games. I already have these games. Why do I want this game? Basically, like I grew up on those two, but it was like I wasn't a Tekken guy. But it's like, all right, fine. Anthony says the reason he's playing this was because it has fireballs. All right, I'll take a look at it. So does the other ones. What are you talking about? Daniel takes the game console away. Anthony asks Alexa to order a new PS Vita. Daniel tries to tell Alexa to parental override, but she ignores it. Anthony smirks and walks away, leaving Daniel to once again hate the kid. See what I mean? Fucking Brad. Like parental override everything that Daniel tries telling Alexa. Like, no. Your kid is right. We don't want to do your stupid karate, Dad. And so Anthony just says, "Let me get another PS Vita. I'm never gonna see this freaking console anymore. Dad, hook me up. No, I don't like you." Next scene, we're at Robbie's place and he's putting on his New York shirt, a black LaRusso luxury motors. Okay, this scene right here where he puts it on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice he was flexing or was it just me?
He was flexing.
He was flexing, right? Like, ugh.
Yeah,
Like he puts
I
it on.
think he was. He was flexing.
Why? Like every fucking guy's thing is like, put on a shirt, flex. Put on a new shirt, flex. Oh, well, how would I look like in this shirt? Yeah, let me flex. Oh yeah. Has nothing to do with anything. That's all we do. Oh, new shirt. Let me see. All right, cool. Extra, extra large, double XL.
Dude,
Puts it on.
why do you guys do that? Why do you do that?
It's a habit. It's a thing. We just do. Even if it's the smallest shirt and it doesn't fit us, like put it on. I was like, oh hey, and then look in the mirror, flex. If it ripped, our ego gets big. If it doesn't, it's like, oh, it fits. Cool. But like we just want to see, like, if you're trying to pick something up and from the ground, you want to see how you would look like if you were trying to pick something up, and how the shirt would look, and if your muscles define, like they're right there. So he sits there and he's like sitting there like, yeah, new shirt, So whenever guys get a new shirt, we do that. It's a
That's good to know.
it's a new shirt flex kind of day, basically.
Ah, okay.
Guys, back me up. Isn't that what we do? Send me an email. Let me know what you think. Isn't that what we do? Ask any guy, ask any kid. They will tell you that even the kids do. It's like, oh yeah, hey, you got a new shirt here. Ugh. All right. There's an obnoxious.
Do you guys make that noise too?
They do. It's like the whole. I don't think Robbie did it because, like, all right, cool. But he mentally inside his head, he did the.
He did.
He did.
So yeah.
He like looked at him, like. So he's like, it's a kind of day. All right, there's an obnoxious knock at the door. Robbie opens it, and it's two friends who he's been hanging out with, Trey, and I don't think I even heard the other guy at all, his name. I just gonna call him Mustache Kid because Johnny made fun of his mustache last episode.
He did.
And then in this episode, he shaved it off. So even if he doesn't have the mustache, I'm still calling him Mustache Kid. Like he fucked up. It's like, oh man, somebody made fun of me. It's like, no, now you're gonna be called a Mustache Kid, even if you don't have one.
Robbie needs to find new friends. I don't like them.
Hey, Dre and Mustache Kid are hard to find. Uh, they tell him they're trying to hit up an Amazon truck with Robbie, but Robbie tells him he has to go to work at LaRusso Auto. They ask him why, and we find out the reason he applied there was because he wanted to upset his father. Here's the thing. His father doesn't even know that he's working there.
Not yet.
You should have told him, like, hey, I'm gonna go work at LaRusso. Like later on, he just finds out, like, oh, you working there? Okay, whatever. But right now, it would have been like perfect. It's like, oh fuck you, what are you doing, kid? Nah, I just want to draw your attention. I want the attention on me.
Because
like,
I don't think that is the only reason he's doing it. He says it is, but I think there's something else there that he's doing it for.
All right, we'll see. Back in the dojo, Johnny teaches his class the basics of karate just by doing the jab. During a training session, Johnny openly ridicules Eli, who has an unsightly scar from a cleft lip surgery, which in turn draws an objection from his friend Dimitri. Johnny tells Eli if he can't handle someone making fun of him, how is he going to handle an elbow to the teeth? Dimitri says he can just call the cops. Miguel tries to calm Dimitri down, but Dimitri says they are all paying him. He works for them. And it's not like he can actually hurt them. to which Johnny steps forward and the music eerily changes. Miguel tries to warn Dimitri. Everyone forms a circle and Johnny orders Dimitri to hit him and quickly flips him to the ground as a lesson to the others. Dimitri then quits the dojo, claiming that he felt like a hooker giving him his money and still getting beat up. Or basically screwed. He then tells Miguel that as long as he is friends with him, no one at school will bother him anyway. As if to demonstrate the point, a battered and bruised Kyler approaches the pair, but meekly turns and walks the other direction. Kyler's ego is just freaking. Okay, I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna walk the other way. He's still in shock. Like, Rhea just beat my ass. I'm gonna go. Hey,
I think that would be so awesome to have a friend that like you can just like like everyone's afraid of them and you don't have to worry about anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like he just looks at you or whatever, and yeah, exactly what happened with Kyler.
Yeah,
looked at him and was like, nope.
Biggest guy in the yard, just go up to him like, hey, can we be friends? Yeah, okay, cool. He's my boy. What? So it was like that. There you go. At the car dealership, Robbie has seemingly become a model employee, but Daniel's cousin, Louie, begins to haze him by suggesting he moves on to one of the cars in the crowded showroom closer to the front window as a favor to Daniel. Robbie obligingly enters the car and turns on the engine, but Daniel quickly intervenes and goes into the reckless act, causing Robbie to quit. Upon realizing the truth of the matter, Daniel goes after him but apologizes by accidentally startled Robbie, prompting the boy to wheel around with his fist raised. Daniel talks him down and corrects a flaw in Robbie's punching technique, and the two reconcile. Freaking Louie, man. It's like, hey, go turn on the car. Like, yeah, I did it on my first day too. No worries, don't worry about it. So basically, they just hazed him too when he first showed up. Probably Anoush did it to him, and he's doing it to Robbie, and Anoush is all like, "Oh, we only did it to you. Don't mean you have to do it to everybody else." Like, no,
it's
man,
like
it's funny.
what's that called? It's like not hazing, but hazing.
Ranking?
Or no,
Ranking.
like in a fraternity when you
Yeah, hazing.
hazing, yeah, or yeah, hazing the new kid.
Hazing the new kid.
Yeah.
At school, Sam finds herself without a partner in the science lab, but Miguel volunteers to take her into his group with Dimitri. Sam thanks Miguel for standing up for her in the lunchroom, but playfully points out a flaw in his fighting technique. Him telegraphing his sweep, she tells him when he lifts up his foot, it shifts the weight to the back of his leg. More wind up, less power. Miguel thanks her and they begin to bond. She pulls out 2 bananas out of her bag, explaining that they are still making fun of her. Miguel says that they call him Rhea. Sam says not anymore. He is getting massive respect now. All he had to do was punch Kyler in the face, and now everybody's all scared of him. Sam, all you got to do is just punch one girl in the face, and you're good. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. Like, get massive respect. Oh, we won't give you bananas anymore. We'll just give you flowers. Back at the dojo, Johnny notices far fewer students than the day before, with many having quit, including those he calls Crater Face, Nose Ring, and Slingshot. I'm really questioning the slingshot part. Possibly somebody getting hit with a slingshot. Oh man, okay.
Oh my gosh, Miguel that hurt.
Yeah, right? Like, what does his face look like? Miguel says he couldn't handle being degraded or his teaching style and insults. He points out Eli, whom he had nicknamed Lip due to the scar, but when the boy objects his name, Johnny asks him if he's one of those special kids. Eli says his mom was told he could be on the spectrum. Johnny tells him he doesn't know what that is, but get off of it pronto. Fucking hell. Add this to the many things Johnny doesn't know about in the 20th century.
Poor Johnny.
80s. Like, what does, like, I feel like he's Captain America coming back from being on ice for all those years. And him having a notepad of everything he needs to watch now. This is Johnny right here. This is Captain America. Like, but having a bad influence with Sensei Kreese, and and he has a little notebook that says like things you should not say, things you should say.
Right.
With this,
That's
let
better
me add
than
Spectrum.
that's
What?
better than my theory of him being in a coma for 20 years and just waking up. 20, 30
Probably that
years.
too. Probably that too. Like that freaking punch got him real good. But even then, it's like him having the whole what does Spectrum mean? Gonna go look it up, adding it to the list of things. The coma would make sense though. Like he woke up just like 5 years ago. Or wait, how old is how old are these kids? How old is Sam?
The new generation? She's 16, I believe. Yeah, 16. Sam is
And
16.
how old was Daniel and Johnny back in Karate Kid 1?
That's a good question because I want to say that weren't they, I don't know, weren't they 17?
Yeah. So
At
they
least?
waited at least 15 years to have kids, both of them. At the same time. Like for Johnny, I would assume like he would have had like if he's this much of a loser, he would have had this kid like immediately after high school.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. That's funny that they both
Because
had kids at the same time because they're the same. Yep.
they're the
I didn't even
same
think
age.
about that. That's crazy.
And what year was Karate Kid 1 in like 1985 or something? Why
1984. 1984 for
1984?
Karate Kid. Yep.
So they waited 16 years to have a kid, both of them, 17 years, whatever. And even then, for Johnny, I would assume that he would have his kid right after high school and then like, not marry the girl and the kid would grow up to be us, you
I could
know.
see that.
And then Daniel's like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait until I have a kid, blah blah blah." Like, until I'm married, I mean, and blah blah blah. And then like at least 5 years later, not 50, which would make them. But I get the whole it's like, let's wait, let's have these kids to be around 16 years old in 2018. Like, so they're now. So when the reason why Daniel waited was because he wanted to get married. He wanted to have a solid job. He wanted to have a solid career. And then Sam was born, and then accidentally brings in Anthony.
Accidentally. I knew you were going to say that.
Accidentally brings in Anthony. And for Johnny, like, um, what the hell was he doing in his life for the next 15 years?
Sleeping.
Like, sleeping. He finally meets a girl. Like, oops, I did an oopsie. Here's your oopsie. And he ends up abandoning them. Like what? And then like years later, like, oh, I have a kid. Oh shit, he's working with my enemy. Oh no. Like damn, dude. Uh so yeah, him Johnny not knowing what spectrum means, weird. And Daniel knowing everything. It's like the total polar opposites of here. And Johnny's not like in the know of anything. It's like, oh, I've been fucking clueless this entire time. Bitch and bitching are just different things. And Daniel, of course, is just like, hey, want to learn karate? No, Dad. All right, fuck you then. Okay. Well, I like your theory that he was fucking on ice the entire time, or he was in a coma for this entire time, and
Coma, yeah.
wakes up 15 years ago to have a kid, and then like goes back to a coma, be the loser.
Are you calling Johnny a loser?
He is. What did he do the entire time? What was he doing for the last? Did he go to college?
He,
Why was he
he
in
was he
college?
was he was finding
He was
himself. He was
he was
finding
finding him.
himself.
He was
Yeah.
finding himself for 15, 20
Yes.
years
He was finding himself for that 15, 20 years
in the 80s.
in the 80s, listening to
In
really cool 80s music, driving his cool
badass,
car.
badass music, listening to badass music, driving the same type of Thunderbird car.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Watching
Okay.
those 80s TV shows or movies.
Oh my God. Oh, those 80s awesome 80s movies that he was in also. Hey, this guy from that one movie is pretty cool. It looked just like me. Denim jacket and all. What do you call it? One of the boys? Yeah.
Just one of the guys.
Just one of the guys. Yeah.
Just one of the guys. I love that movie. He has that same jacket.
He does. All right. Back to the episode. They're still talking to Eli. Johnny encourages Eli to flip the script and do something to take the focus away from his scar. Instead, Eli walks out in humiliation, and Miguel stands up for his friend by telling Johnny, "You don't know what it's like to be us." Oh man, he doesn't know what it's like to be us.
Mm,
You
not
don't know what it's like
true.
to be a loser. Like, oh man, save it, buddy. At LaRusso Auto, Louis is forced to apologize to Robbie for hazing him. He said it was brought to his attention that what he said to him was not very professional. Robbie says okay. Amanda gives Robbie one of the gray shirts with his name on it, telling him it's official. He is now part of the LaRusso Auto team. Amanda
Boom.
leaves.
No family. No family. The LaRusso, I'm pretty sure she said part of the LaRusso family.
LaRusso Auto family. Well, there you go.
Maybe. Well, see, I think it was because that's my whole thing. Like he wants to be part of a family. Look at his dad and look at his mom.
They're both
Like
losers.
he was saying, like you said earlier, wants to get back at his dad, but there's more there. He wants to be part of a family. He doesn't have a family.
He doesn't have a family. His
He has,
family
I
are
mean, he has a
abandoned.
family, but he doesn't have a family.
Right, right. His family abandoned him.
Pretty much. Well, the mom didn't, but she does because all she does is go out and yeah, and
Wow.
the dad left, and yeah.
Yeah.
So he wants to have that feeling of an actual family.
He wants to have a feeling of, being a part of a
What a
team,
what a
being a part
being
of
part of a
something.
team, being part of a family. Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly.
Amanda leaves, and Louis does the rest of the coffee machine stuff that Robbie was doing. Right before Robbie is about to leave, Louis asks if he's still trying to score points with his cousin, that advises him to take the yellow envelope with the hard copy of the sales report to his house. He's old school like that. Robbie asks if he's messing with him again. Louis says, "Never mind, just forget about it." Robbie insists that he'll do it. Louis tells him the envelope is on the desk. Later that night, Johnny returns home with beer, picks up his Sony Walkman from 40 years ago that he conveniently still has, just laying around in the freaking bedroom. Like, hey, it's here. It's still here. Wow, I still have it. It's not broken and it's not stolen.
But didn't you recently say you also still have your Walkman?
It's not a Walkman. It's a CD.
Oh, okay.
CD
The,
Walkman,
the,
basically.
the disc
What?
Walkman. Okay, not the cassette
Discman.
one.
The Discman. Yeah, that's the Discman.
Hmm.
Like, it still works too. I just need to put it in battery. It triggers him, and it has a flashback to his childhood where he asks his stepfather if he can take karate lessons, only to be mocked and berated. Sid calls him a skinny little white kid and pokes fun at the fact he wants to be the next Bruce Lee. Johnny's mom explains that he's 12. They go through phases. This is not a phase, Mom. It's a lifestyle. I got your picture. Anyway, Sid gets annoyed and tells them he'll write the check and mix it out to garbage. Because that's where it's going to end up, just like when Johnny wanted the drums, then roller skates, and the magic kit because he wanted to be the next Doug Henning. Uh, looked up who Doug Henning was. This was like what, possibly in the 70s. It was like this guy was a hippie. Straight up hippie doing magic. I do not trust people anymore in the 70s. Wow. It's magic, man. Yeah. What is he, a magic trick, bro? Ta-da. Johnny's mom begins to argue with Sid, and at this moment right here brought back a lot of unwanted memories with my family as well. Like, so Johnny puts on his headphones and listens to Boston Don't Look Back Again, and he just gets lost and is zoned out. I did the same thing. Coming from the same type of childhood where both mom and stepdad would get into arguments, I definitely would get lost in something I love, and that was wrestling or a video game. I would just lock myself in my room and start playing a game or read a comic book or just go to the next door neighbor's house. Again, just wait out until later. So I think Johnny uses rock music to forget his troubles, forget his past, and it's the reason he still listens to 80s music. And when we get back from that memory core, he's still sitting on his chair looking down at that Walkman, the time that he was happy listening to Boston and joining Cobra Kai. Yes, you were about to say something. Go for it.
No,
I know you were
no. That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Like, he does understand these kids. He understands what they're going through. Like, that's where you get the whole.
But he doesn't want to go back to them because he was a sad boy. He doesn't. He was going through a lot of trauma that the kids went through. I went through it too, and he got lost in Boston. He got lost in Cobra Kai, and at a time like if this was what was that one movie with the little kids in their head, the joy and all that stuff. Disney. It's a Disney movie. I forgot what it was. Inside Out. If this was Inside Out, there's a bunch of little Johnnies right in there. Joy, freaking a lot of fucking what's her name? Sadness, because depression is in there because like he's all troubled, and then we see a little hippie music guy sitting there listening to Boston. It's like, oh hey, I like this song. Ooh, Cobra Kai, that makes me happy. Oh yeah, hey, can we do this all day and forget our troubles? Can we just kick sadness out? And they did. They kicked sadness out, and sadness came back when he fucking got a kid. He got his girl pregnant. Oh man, I'm depressed. Oh my god. But is the memory core for him that he gets lost in all of this? And as a kid, and even as an adult now, he's like he feels it as a kid, like ooh, Cobra Kai, and like nostalgia. I want to open it up again, and help out the community like the way they helped me when I was a kid and I was going through some shit. But now all these kids are a bunch of losers, and I gotta make them badass. It's like, oh, I wonder if Chris thought the same thing about me, and this is why I became badass. And it's very, very different from 80s music to 2000s music. It's like, oh shit. Do you guys still have rock? Yeah, but it's different. It's called emo. We're all sad around here. We're like, it's not a phase. It's just like we're sad.
It's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Like, imagine a kid with their hair parted down joining Cobra Kai. I just want to defend myself, man. Emo Cobra Kai.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna make that a thing, aren't you?
I am gonna make that a thing. Emo Cobra Kai. Why not? It's not a thing, it's a lifestyle. I'm just gonna like put the hair parted down into the Cobra, see what happens. All right, next scene. Robbie arrives and finds Daniel in the midst of a kata session, which intrigues him. Robbie hands Daniel the sales report envelope, in which Daniel opens up and shows to Robbie what it really was. Just another prank by Louis. Inside the yellow envelope is a copy of Velvet Vixens. Oh God, if I die, please delete my search bar. Delete everything. I looked into what the kind of magazine this was, and we are learning more and more about Cousin Louie from Jersey. Basically, this is a fetish magazine.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's all leather.
Do I dare to ask what kind of fetish?
It's all leather, all nipple clamps. He is just like fucking Louis, dude. Why? Where did you get this magazine? And Daniel's sitting there like, oh, where do I throw it away? Is the wife gonna ask something? What if the kid gets to it? Anthony be like, Dad, what's this? Throw it out. Oh, Louis.
That's your real dad's magazine.
Oh my god. There you go. Daniel invites Robbie to stay and learn about kata, which is the foundation of his karate. Daniel asks Robbie if he wants to stick around and learn a few things, and Robbie accepts. Daniel is excited and smiles. He finally has someone to.
So excited! No,
he finally has someone to do karate with. Yay! On the other hand, the fact that a grown man's excited that his underage employee wants to do karate with him.
Okay, stop. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Fine, I won't ruin it. But it's like, hey, why are you so excited?
Let me have this moment.
Fine. So I was like, my son doesn't want to do karate, but you do. So excited.
It's not his real son.
Not his real son. The next day at Cobra Kai, the Cobra Kai finds even fewer students in attendance, which Johnny claims is his fault. Though he makes no apologies for his harsh methods, he tells his students that he used to be just like them, and that with training, Cobra Kai can help them find their true power. At that moment, Eli enters the dojo with a blue mohawk and a cocky new attitude, saying that he's flipping the script, thus earning Johnny's approval and a new nickname of Hawk.
And that is my favorite scene of the whole episode.
There it is. Like the big reveal. After reciting the Cobra Kai Creed, Johnny prepares to lead his students in another training session, and which goes to favorite scene. Like that was your favorite scene, the nickname, the whole entrance, the whole like. I flipped the script. Yeah,
I'm flipping the script. That is my favorite line of the whole episode too. Yes.
For real.
For real.
I want to say that the intro to this was my favorite scene. Going back to Johnny's past, like everything from there, like oh shit, this is the reason why he's like this, because he can't go back to this. When Sid came to his apartment, it triggered everything back inside, and was like, what do you want, Sid? Get the hell out of here. Go somewhere else. You're not welcome here. And you see why he was such a mean asshole towards this old man, because the old man was a dick to him. And he got lost in the whole music. He got lost in the karate. He got lost doing whatever he wanted to do, whatever made him happy. His mom wasn't happy, and he wasn't happy because of this man, but he helped himself in being happy. And that's part of it. It was like it basically it brought me back to me. Like, hey,
I was gonna say that you can relate with that.
I can relate. Yes, I can relate to that because I was like, same situation that he was in. For real. What do you think of this episode?
I liked it. I know we're rating episodes too, but it's probably one of the more what's the word? Calmer episodes, I guess we could say. Yeah. So it's calmer. There's not a whole lot of drama, which I like. I feel like it builds up for the drama. Let's just put it that way. So it was very calm. There wasn't a lot of drama going on, but there was going back to showing why Johnny acts the way he does, with his stepdad, and showing those flashbacks and things like that. So it was a calmer, more informative episode, in my opinion. But But to go back to my favorite part at the end, where Eli Hawk, or is Hawk now when he comes in. Fun fact about him: the actor Jacob Bernstrand, who plays Eli, his whole hair and makeup, I found out, takes 2 hours to apply every time. So 1 hour for his signature haircut to be applied, and then it takes at least 30 minutes. Oh wait, I won't say that part because they haven't showed it yet, but yeah, for his hair and makeup, 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next episode then, right? Next episode, right? Next then, like whatever you were gonna say. Possibly the next episode. Is it the next episode or is it like later on?
I think it might be the episode after that, actually.
Okay. All right. I loved it. I loved this episode. It like totally brought back some memories also, and I love the direction. The whole thing with the reveal at the very end was just like, oh hell yeah! Like one of the kids flipped the script. We're gonna find out soon what happens later, how it turns out, how it like why he did it for, the reason he did it, and all that. Question for this episode: what do you still own from your childhood?
How far back childhood are we talking about?
Whatever that's like considered retro. I mean, we have Johnny with his Walkman that wasn't around until the 80s, but he somehow got a special edition in 1979. Like that's how I remember the story, man. Okay, I had a Walkman on in 1979, even though it didn't come out till like the 80s. Yeah.
I have a collection of cassette tapes still. And my cassette tapes are actually mixed tapes. So back then, I used to take songs that I liked and I used to make my own mixtapes. Probably when I was like 13, 14 years old.
Yes. Recorded.
That was one of my favorite pastime. Besides writing, I used to do mixtapes.
Love that. Mine is the Walkman, of course, and some comic book that I still have from my childhood. My mom sent it to me. She's all like, you know, nobody's gonna keep him here, so you might as well keep it. And I'm actually thinking of like half of them are going to my brother's house, so he can like do the whole thing that was done to us to his son. So
did you say comic books?
Yeah.
Okay. I also had, I don't know if anybody out there even knows what these are, but I have a collection of Garbage Pail Kids cards.
Oh my God, I love Garbage Pail Kids.
You know what those are?
Yeah, like I used to
collect them?
Collect stickers. Yeah. Like every time after school in elementary school, like I would just like walk to the store and like I see a bunch of them. No, I wouldn't buy them, but just like I see a bunch of them just like so grotesque. There was a Garbage Pail movie, if you remember that.
Yes, I do. I saw it.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad I wasn't the only one because that was like a core memory that I'm just like there was a Garbage Pail movie, right? Just like there was a Kazam movie.
There was a Garbage Pail movie because I was so excited when that came.
Yeah, like
I got my Garbage Pail Kid cards. I love those, and I do still have some packed away. I was like, oh my goodness, thought I was the only one that knew what Garbage Pail Kids were.
Oh my God, I thought I was the only one that freaking thought the movie was real. Like, wait, is this real or is this like some kind of Mandela effect? Was there ever a Garbage Pail movie?
Yes, there was. I was the girl that, everyone else was playing with Cabbage Patch Kids, and I liked Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, it's like I always get those confused. And like, do you have Cabbage Patch Kids? And like, why? Why would I have that? You know, the gross one.
I had a Cabbage Patch doll, but I liked my Garbage Pail Kids. So
exactly. You know, the gross one, like it was either the Mad Magazine or the Garbage Pail Kids, and I was just like, oh God, what kind of Garbage Pail Kid is gonna be on these stickers? And like, on
It was
this.
so exciting to open up that package and see the new card. Yeah, I was weird.
Like, I don't remember their names, but I just know they were like some kind of crazy little grotesque booger,
Mm-hmm.
something out of their mouth or in the sewers, and like this is disgusting, but I love it. Such a kid thing.
Yeah, I was big in horror movies back then too. I think that's probably why.
Oh, yeah, yes, I love horror. We are going to take a short break. A friend of the podcast and one of the members of the M3P network started her podcast a few weeks ago. Her link is going to be in the show notes. But as a bonus, I'm going to include her 5-minute intro episode 0 right now in a few. So listen to this, and then we will be back.
My name is Squirrely, and welcome to Just a Nutty Squirrel. Honestly, I'm pretty nervous about starting this, but I know this would not only be a great outlet, but also a great way to connect with people who also struggle with mental health. Let's be honest, have you ever met someone who isn't dealing with something? No, not really, but what I have met is people who didn't know where to go, who to talk to, and how exactly to process it. My life has been, well, a journey, and I'm still trying to figure out where it's going. My goal is for one person to listen to this and feel as if they're not alone. And if I can do that, well, I'm happy. I once had a friend that said, wow, I think most people who have been through semi of what you've been through would eventually turn to drugs. It still sits with me because I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. We don't get to choose the cards we have in life, but we do get to choose how we play them. So I will be going through what I've been through in upcoming episodes, so there will be some episodes that are hard to listen, and I will try my best to do trigger warnings. But once again, I want people to know they're not alone. No one wants to listen to a sad podcast constantly, though, so sometimes I will switch it up to lighten the mood. Different things such as role models, games, movies, or even artists to give a podcast a fresh breath. But first, let's talk about the giant acorn in the room. I'm sure you've wondered why squirrels. Well, first of all, I am unhealthily obsessed with squirrels. It started with my high school criminal justice teacher. He also had a fascination about squirrels, and that class was my safe space. So whenever we saw squirrels, we would freak. And not only just the live ones, the figurines, the ornaments, the clothing, etc. It just became as equivalent as finding $1 on the street. And well, it stuck. 10 years later, and I find myself surrounded by all squirrel things. I don't know how it happened. I just blinked, and suddenly they were everywhere. But let's also think about squirrels themselves. They're just a small species in a big, scary world who are just trying to survive. They could be just like us. They go out every day foraging and gathering for food and bring it back to their tiny place they call home and sleep. Fun fact, did you know squirrels sleep approximately 15 hours a day? I mean, if I'm being honest, when I have the time, I do it too. And it's comforting when we're living in the world we live in. I will say, I do have a tendency to say and the word and a lot, and speak fast. So I will be working on that, but in the meantime, bear with me. If you're interested in having an interview on my podcast, even if you just need a safe space and want to tell your story, reach out and we can make that happen. I will have my Twitter listed on the page. Everyone's story is different, but as one of my favorite bands says, it could have been much worse, but it should have been better. As in, of course, there's worse things out there, but it shouldn't diminish what we've been through and make us feel any less. Shout out to Five Finger Death Punch, by the way. If you know, you know. I will attempt to upload once a week, maybe a bit faster in the beginning until I get a few episodes up. But I really hope you stick around and learn what entails in this squirrel's life.
Hey, it's Evo. We're going to get back to the episode you're listening to, but first, let me tell you about Dark Fate Creations. Dark Fate Creations are candles that are vibrant, colorful, marble tops, amazing, mouth-watering fragrances, fueled by lovely braided cotton wicks. Paper threads woven into every cotton wick for a clean, romantic, slow, and consistent burn. Each candle is unique from the next as they are hand-mixed and hand-poured right in Grass Valley, California. They use only coconut and soy waxes for a safer, cleaner, and longer burn time. That's almost 72 hours. That's like binging on all 130 episodes of the podcast. All fragrance blends have been heavily researched. Dark Fate Creations not only care about the look, fragrance, and quality of their candles and their other products, but also the effects they have in their customers' homes. So go to darkfatecreations.com. The link will be in the show notes.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Dawn.
And if you've ever watched a TV show and thought to yourself, oh my god, that season finale plot twist was absolutely bonkers.
Or seen a movie and thought, wow, I need to talk to somebody about this train wreck immediately.
Then we think you'll fit right in with our podcast, I Hate It, Let's Watch It. We watch TV shows like Riverdale and Emily in Paris.
And movies like Deep Water, Killer Sofa, Rubber, and Deadly Illusions. And we give them the total rinsing they deserve.
It's basically group therapy for movie masochists. So come check us out wherever you stream podcasts.
Welcome back once again to the M3P podcast here on My Third Place Network. We are still breaking down episodes scene by scene of Cobra Kai on Netflix. Up next is season 1, episode 7, titled All Valley, written by Stacey Harmon, who has written 9 episodes of Cobra Kai, 16 episodes of The Goldbergs, and 1 episode of the series Why Women Kill. She also wrote for the movie Smurfs: Lost Village. Directed by Steve Pink, who is known for being a writer on 2 John Cusack movies, Grosse Point Blank and High Fidelity, and has directed both Hot Tub Time Machine movies, 4 episodes of Santa Clarita Diet, and 3 episodes of Cobra Kai. I love that in the last episode, there were 2 writers for Hot Tub Time Machine, and then in this episode, it's the guy that directed Hot Tub Time Machine. Like, hey man, you want to go direct the show on Cobra Kai? Like, yeah. Oh, you know why? I just realized that.
What?
What's his face? Plays Johnny. What's his name?
William Zabka?
He was in Hot Tub Time Machine.
He was?
With the girl that plays his ex here.
Allie?
He was. They were both on the Hot Tub Time Machine movies.
Well, now I may have to just watch it. I've never seen that movie.
Exactly. I might have to watch it again because I remember William Zabka in the first one. I didn't even watch the second one. But like, if he's in the second one, then good for him. But the fact that Steve Pink is the director of Hot Tub Time Machine and then the writer of Hot Tub Time Machine, they're like, "Hey, come and do the show with us." Like, okay, yeah, cool. So here they are. Like, I didn't realize that till now, because, like, just remembering Hot Tub Time Machine and, like, who else was in that movie? That was from the 80s.
I'm going to have to watch it now.
Right?
That just made it interesting.
Yeah, he's in just the first movie. He's not in the second one.
Oh, that's good, because I don't know if I'd want to watch the second one.
First movie, John Cusack, Rob Corddry, Craig Robinson, Clark Duke. Who plays young Adam, Jake Rose, young Lou, young Nick. Okay, I see it. Awesome. And director and writer Steve Pink, Josh Hield. That's so cool.
Did you mention Santa Clarita Diet?
Yeah, on Netflix.
I love that show. I thought I heard you say that. I love that show. I was disappointed when it got canceled.
Oh, I know it got canceled. Steve Pink, who also directed episodes of Santa Clarita Diet. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's a good show. Have you seen it?
No, I don't think I have. I think I've seen the first episode, and I was like, zombie movie?
It's good. It's not a zombie movie. It's good.
Show.
It's not a zombie show.
At the time, I was just done with zombies. When it
It's
came
not a-
out, I was like, I need to.
It's
She was a
good.
zombie. Just like, okay.
Okay, well, we'll save this disagreement for later. This discussion for later.
Is Santa Clarita a diet a zombie show or not?
That's. We'll save this discussion for later.
Okay, fine. Just a synopsis. Daniel takes on teaching his new people using the unconventional techniques from Mr. Miyagi. Robbie is tempted to return to his delinquent ways. Johnny helps Miguel with his first date. The episode cold opens with Robbie in a training montage with a classical music in the background as he performs various tasks around the rental dealership. Waxing cars, washing windows, sweeping floors, running the flag up the flagpole, and even stapling documents. All according to Daniel's personal instruction. What's stapling documents?
Did you know that is the same music they used in Karate Kid?
That's classical.
The classical music, that is the same music. When Mr. Miyagi, yes, that is the first thing I noticed. Yes. I was trying to pinpoint, because I know we are supposed to watch Karate Kid again, and we haven't done that yet, but I was trying to pinpoint the exact scene that it was used. I want to say it was when he was. It wasn't when he was doing the washing the cars and the stuff like in the Karate Kid. It was in. I believe it was when he was. They were on the beach.
The beach, or was it the banquet when he was like trying to be a waiter and he was in the back?
No. It was when Mr. Miyagi was training him. But I think I want to say it was the beach scene. Pretty sure when he was on like the pole or in the boat.
We're gonna have to watch it.
We have to watch it because it is in one of those scenes. But it was when Mr. Miyagi was doing training, the same thing that he's doing with Robbie. That
right.
Daniel's doing with Robbie. So yes, we have to remember that. Jot that down. Write that down. We have to remember this.
Okay, no problem. After many long days of menial chores designed to teach him muscle memory, Robbie gets rusted after having learned nothing, much like Daniel felt with Mr. Miyagi. Robbie walks away. Amanda tells Daniel that he's enjoying this way too much. Daniel says that he loved this part, which in turn is a callback to the first Karate Kid movie when Mr. Miyagi would have Daniel wax the cars, sand the floor, and paint the fence. Before Daniel goes after Robbie, he says to himself that he loved this part, obviously. That night, Daniel spars with Robbie for the first time and shows him what he has truly learned. Robbie just realized that he just learned karate, and they bow to each other. The Cobra Kai logo appears. Okay, so apart from the classical music, I love how the music changes from that when Robbie's doing all the work to then the theme of the Karate Kid, the Japanese theme part, and when Robbie's starting to realize he is doing a lot of work, like da 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 da, and then it's like, and then like you immediately like imagine Mr. Miyagi is like, oh shit, the vibe just changed. And when he says that he loved this part, he probably did this to Sam, which is why Sam is all like, no, Dad, I don't want to do karate with you.
I don't want to do any more chores.
Like, he is going to make her work. Sam probably is annoyed and has PTSD from doing all the chores around the house. Wash the dish, wipe the dish. Wash the dish, wipe the dish. Wash, dish, wipe, dish. Show me wash dish. Show me wipe dish.
Now, why don't they have anything with mowing the yard?
They probably do. It's the same as the
or
jacking the car. Mow the yard. Back up the mow. Mow the yard. Back up the mow. What else? Trim the hedges.
That's what I was going to say. Trim the hedges, mow the yard, cut the trees. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm just getting my wrist. Like I just did all that over the weekend. I don't think there's muscle memory for that at the moment.
That's probably why it came to me. I had to do that too.
I just did all that. I don't think there's muscle memory for that. Like, oh, mow the yard. Show me mow the yard. I'm like, push? What? Okay. Oh, unless you're like, grabbing the cord and taking it back.
Yes.
There you go.
That I could be a karate teacher.
Sensei, ma'am. Sensei.
Sensei. Sorry. Pulling the cord. That's a karate move. That has to be a karate move.
Yeah. Pulling the cord is a karate. Show me pulling the cord. Show me washing the dish. Oh God. A neat mess of a yogurt, I'm telling you. Okay. At the Cobra Kai dojo, Johnny's irritated to discover that students are flinchers and orders Aisha to line them up and face punch them in the face before they leave to remedy their fear. Just imagine that, getting punched in the face.
Ouch.
In his office, he flips through a karate magazine and sees an ad for the upcoming All Valley Karate Tournament. Miguel then enters to seek Johnny's advice about a girl at school whom he likes. Johnny asks if she's hot, which is a big no-no. You don't ask if a girl at school, at a high school, is hot. Johnny, right? No. Why are you asking? Like, please don't do this whole friggin' Matthew McConaughey as, hey man, all right. This is why I like high school girls. They stay the same age. They're like, no, no.
You're not in the 80s anymore, Johnny.
Johnny, you're a badass. Just don't, though. You just don't ask a girl that. Johnny, please don't. Johnny encourages him to pursue her, never to accept defeat, even if he tells her no. Miguel tells him he's pretty sure no means no. Johnny tells him that if things are getting physical, then no means no. That's where he draws the line. See? He's a badass. He's into the whole saying about, hey, I'm giving you consent. No means no, though. But he's only asking her out, and all the babes want to date a Cobra Kai.
Do they?
Oh, fuck. I don't think all the babes know what a Cobra Kai is at the moment. It's like, what's a Cobra Kai? I don't understand. But at the time, did all the babes really want to date a Cobra Kai? There was Allie, who only dated one Cobra Kai. Like, it'd be like one of those weird things if Allie and her friends were like dating the Cobra Kais.
Yeah, none of them were. It was just Allie, and that's until Daniel came along.
Yeah, it was only Allie. Like, who's your guys?
Or no, she broke up with him before Daniel came along, actually.
Right.
So Daniel didn't steal him, or Daniel did not steal Allie from Johnny, even though Johnny thinks so. They were broken up before.
They were broken up before.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see the other guys in Cobra Kai like hanging out with girls at all.
Right? Nope, none of them were. They were hanging out with each other.
Unless they were older than that. Were they all in high school?
They had to have been all in high school because remember the soccer scene? They were on the soccer team.
All the other Cobra Kai guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Except for that one badass one with the curly blonde hair, but the other ones were.
Body bag guy?
Oh wait, no, I think they all were. Yeah, they all were.
Get him a body bag. I think he wasn't.
No, not him. The other one.
No.
There's another. I felt like he was like the worst out of all of them. He had the blonde hair. I don't remember his name, but he was like I feel like he was like the meanest badass one.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna get through season 1. We're gonna watch what's Karate Kid?
We gotta watch Karate Kid.
In season 2, that's when you're like, oh shit, so like, differentiate what happened between 1985 and now. Because something happened. If you guys haven't seen it, get ready for it. Spoiler alert and all that. If you haven't seen it, if you have, good for you. But do all the babes want to date a Cobra Kai? Would you have wanted to date a Cobra Kai?
I mean,
someone to be there to help you with Cobra.
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay. Miguel notices the ad, but Johnny says they are not yet ready for the tournament. Off screen, while this whole conversation is happening, Aisha is heard grunting and punching everyone in the face, even calling one of them a pussy. Get back here, pussy! Johnny and Miguel both watch as Hawk gets thrown on the mat and saying he just lost a tooth, which makes him more badass, actually, knowing that he just lost a tooth. Becca LaRusso's Robbie's delinquent friends come to him with a proposal. They want Robbie to acquire the security code for the dealership so that they can strip the cars for parts to sell. Robbie's resistant, but the thugs threaten him with violence if he does not comply. Later that day, Robbie secretly records Amanda inputting the security code for the door on his smartphone. Ooh. At school, Miguel approaches Sam to ask her out, but after her experience with Kyler, she is not interested in dating anyone. Following Johnny's advice, Miguel refuses to take no for an answer, and Sam eventually agrees to a friendly outing. She asks for him to pick her up at 8, but he says he has a bike, so she agrees that she will pick him up at 8. I love
It's
that.
funny because Daniel had a bike too in Karate Kid.
Exactly, I was gonna say that. Like, I love that he did that. But at least this car, it does work. Back in Karate Kid, he had a car that sucked.
Well, it wasn't even his car; it was his mom's.
His mom's car still, it sucked.
But they had to push it. Yeah.
They had to push it. For fucking 40 years later, he owns all the cars. I'm selling cars. Hey, I know what it's like to be able to be stranded and have your mom take you to the fucking place. Back at the dojo, Johnny's on the phone trying to sign his dojo up to the All Valley tournament. In the practice area, Miguel asks Aisha and Eli where they should go, and Eli suggests a tattoo parlor before removing his gi to reveal a soaring hawk with a blue mohawk.
There it is. Yes, it is this episode. He has to sit there for 30 minutes while they paint that badass tattoo on him, on his back.
We only see it for this episode and I think the final episode, and then do we see it at all in the future episodes?
I think so, because I thought so. I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to pay more attention.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pay more attention.
I know we see it. We see it again. I know we do. I just don't know when.
Aisha asks if his parents are okay with that. Eli says that they don't know. He will probably have to wear t-shirts until he's in college. Aisha, who's no longer friends with Sam, tells Miguel she likes chocolate and astronomy. Their conversations are interrupted when Johnny learns that Cobra Kai has been permanently banned from the All Valley tournament. Johnny yearns to take his frustrations on the committee, but Miguel tells him there might be a smarter way to fight back. I love that. Relax, Sensei. Relax. It's okay, Sensei.
Yes, I love that he's teaching him something there. Miguel teaches his sensei something.
Exactly. At the dealership, Robbie strengthens his bond with Daniel by helping to trim the bonsai trees. Amanda tells Daniel it's like third base for him. See? No. Fuck. Daniel says he just wants to teach him a few things. That was so out of pocket. What? He's a 16-year-old kid. Amanda? Damn, who wrote this? Oh my god.
I think only our minds think this stuff.
I just want to not think about that. But the way that she says it's like third base for you.
No. Yeah, that's no. Let's not think about that.
And then the next fucking cop. Daniel says he just wants to teach him a few things. This whole thing would have been great without the third base comment, basically.
I don't know who thought of that one.
Yeah, Amanda, thanks a lot. Amanda suggests not to lure him into opening his own bonsai tree store. Daniel says that Mr. Miyagi's little trees was a solid business plan. They just ran into some bad luck. Call back to the Karate Kid 3 when Daniel tried to do the same thing with his college fund money, but then it got wrecked by Mike Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Your college fund money? Really? What did he say? Tuition or college fund? No, Daniel,
I
son.
don't
It's
remember.
college. No,
It's for
see,
college.
it's a good investment. It's a good investment, Mr. Miyagi. No, it's okay.
Mr. Miyagi tells him that in Karate Kid 2 as well.
He just wants
When
to get rid of his money.
no, yeah, but he hands him the money. He wins and he says, "This is for college. This is for your college fund or college. This is for your college fund or something."
And
Remember Karate Kid 2?
Another mistake he made in the past. Good job. The next shot is of Robbie trying to trim his own bonsai tree, but he can't get it. Daniel suggests that Mr. Miyagi taught him how to close his eyes. Visualize the tree and own the tree and picture it in his mind what he wants the tree to look like, and it makes it happen. Daniel just taught him to focus. He is the tree. Daniel leaves Robbie alone to trimming and then gets a text message from his friend. As Johnny prepares to face the Yell Valley Committee, Miguel assures him that he's going to do great, and if somebody pisses him off, just ball his hand into a fist, but don't punch the guy. Johnny asks where Miguel is taking Sam. He tells him to an observatory. Johnny suggests taking her where he took all of his babes. And we get a vertical flip to another callback of Karate Kid 1 at the Golf and Stuff.
Yes, the golf and stuff.
Miguel and Sam spend the evening in a montage set to Young Hearts by Commuter, mirroring Daniel and Allie back in 1984. Oh, yeah.
I love that.
That's where he took all his babes.
All his babes.
So basically, he took Allie there, and in turn, Allie took Daniel there.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, when Sam is all like, "Yeah, my dad used to take us here all the time." Oh, I wonder why. Oh, I had fun with Allie over here. I should take you there too. Oh my God. At the meeting, Johnny asked to appeal a lifetime ban on his dojo. Everyone in the committee doesn't know what he's talking about or didn't know they could ban a dojo. So they ask him the name of his dojo, in which Daniel, who just walked into the door, answers, Cobra Kai. Johnny is taken aback to find Daniel on the committee, but proceeds to make his case for Cobra Kai to compete. Flip to the night at the LaRusso Auto. Robbie's friends arrive, but Robbie refuses to give him the code, unwilling to betray his new mentor's trust. Robbie defends himself by using the karate he had learned, but is eventually overwhelmed and cornered. He then points to a security camera above him, causing his attackers to flee. I love that. I was like, oh shit, realization that he knows how to fight now. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Muscle memory. Ooh. I wonder what stapling documents is.
I was wondering that too. I was trying to picture what move that was.
Stuck to the face. It's like, ugh. Or that one time in Karate Kid 2 when he's about to like punch him in the face, but instead he's like, that's probably it. But he doesn't do it anyway. Back at the hearing, committee explains that the dojo was banned due to the unethical actions of John Kreese, Terry Silver, and Mike Barnes at the 1985 All Valley Tournament. So Karate Kid 1 was in 1984?
Yeah.
So Karate Kid 2 was immediately after the tournament.
It was immediately after, yes. It picked up immediately after the prom.
Okay.
Yes, because he's talking to Mr. Miyagi about taking Allie to the prom or whatever. Yeah, it was the prom night. He came with his blue tux.
He came with his tux. They leave. He doesn't break up, and then they go to Japan.
Break up, yeah. Yep.
From Japan, Karate Kid 3, he shows up and comes back. And this is 1985. Yeah, okay. Like, wow, all that happened in the span of 1 year. 1, 2, and 3 happened in the span of 1 year. I love it. We're gonna watch it again. We're gonna watch it again.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, now yeah, because was 3 in a span of a year? But no, because that would have had to been like the next year because he's coming back for
his
fall,
defense
the fall
championship.
for the national. Right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Yep. Okay. Yes, we're watching that again. 1, 2, and 3. That's right.
Johnny has no knowledge of Silver or Barnes whatsoever and tells him that John Kreese is dead. Everyone in the committee showed their reconnaissance except for Danny, who seemed to be throwing a fit by not showing respect. He then explains the history of Cobra Kai and how he has PTSD from getting bullied by them. Meanwhile, Johnny balls his hand into a fist, feeling overwhelmed and wanting to punch someone. Daniel explains to the committee how Johnny was their star pupil. He was the worst of them all, and they would be dishonoring their entire sport by reinstating Cobra Kai. So, according to Daniel, Johnny was worse than Mike Barnes. Even though Johnny only wanted to bully him for a bit and get his girl back. That's all he wanted, his girl back, And Daniel was in the way. And Daniel did some heinous shit also, and Johnny was like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? We're done." I get that Johnny only pushed him off a hill and it didn't kill him though, but
Yeah, he did push him off that hill.
That's it. He didn't try to kill him.
The whole theory is of this, and I don't know if we've mentioned it before, but that Daniel was actually the real bully, is what people are saying.
Yeah, he was.
No, see, I disagree with that.
He was the actual bully. He was the one, like the whole thing at the Halloween dance. Him putting water in them.
Okay, yes, John, because he flips back to, they show that flashback, or him talking. Yeah, okay.
Nothing was gone. They would have just left him alone.
Okay, but no. Oh, okay, so if somebody had beat the shit out of you, would you really not want to do anything? I mean, if you had that opportunity, you wouldn't want to mess with him? I get Daniel wanting to mess with him when he was in the bathroom. I mean, he should have left him alone. He was probably being stupid, but I can totally see him in that moment.
Not against 5 guys that I know they're going to beat my ass again.
Yeah,
like,
see,
all right, I'm just gonna do
not
one
right. That's not right. 5 against 1 is not right. That's not fair.
It isn't.
No, it's not.
So Johnny only wanted to push him off a hill, and it didn't kill him. But like
only wanted to push him off a hill.
That's it. He only pushed him off a hill. That's it. Not like he died or anything.
Wow.
Mike Barnes, on the other hand, Karate Kid Part 3, he did the whole, if you don't agree to fight me for your championship, I'm going to throw you off this cliff. Okay?
Yeah, he was an evil person.
That was like, this dude was a hitman. Like, do it for this kind of money. And he's not like,
well, that's because Terry was even more evil.
Ugh, Terry. And Johnny apologized at the end of Karate Kid 1. And gave him, handed him the trophy. Here, man, you deserve it.
I know. What happened?
So we're not gonna talk about that at all. They're just overstep that. All right, don't worry about that. That never happened to us. Instead, here's this.
Mm-hmm.
Even Chosen in Karate Kid wanted to kill him, but Johnny was just like, "Oh, I'll behave." So Johnny is not the worst of them. Mike Barnes and Chosen had a knife. He was ready to kill for his girl.
Mm-hmm.
He was ready to kill the girl. But Mike Barnes, was about to throw him off a cliff.
Well, the second one, they said it was fighting for, is it honor or love? Was it fighting for his honor?
Glory of love?
No, not. No, the first one is whatever, because the third one is fighting for his life, I believe, or something, or his. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. The first one is fighting for whatever. The second one I thought was fighting for honor or love, and then the third one fighting for something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Well, so when we come back, I'll have these.
Okay. So basically, in the span of 1 year, he was almost killed by 3 people. It's like, damn.
Poor Daniel.
Poor Daniel's like getting it.
So what?
There's a bounty on his name, and poor kid just wants to friggin' practice karate.
And he lost 3 girls in the span of that year too.
In the span of 3
girls.
3 girls. Ali, the girl from Japan, and then Okinawa, and then I don't even remember the 3rd girl. Like she was just there for like a minute.
Her name's Robin something. She's in she's in Teen Witch, but I can't think of what her name was on there. On the movie. I can't think of her name.
Okay.
That's sad. You said she was there for a minute, and I can't remember her name.
I don't remember her at all. I just remember
I don't remember her name.
Beating her, and then like she got scared because the whole Mike Barnes thing, and she almost died too on the cliff.
Yep.
It's like, Daniel, you have problems. You're a red flag. I'm out.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Daniel.
I mean, that even happened in the second one too.
Oh, Daniel's fault.
Don't fall for Daniel. You'll make it. Yeah.
Oh my God! All right. Johnny explains how his new Cobra Kai differs from the old. His sensei didn't always play by the rules, and that is why he left. Now he is teaching bully kids to become more confident in their everyday lives while improving his own. Everyone's inspired by Johnny's words, but Daniel is hesitant and calls it horseshit. He is blinded by the actions of the past. Young Daniel is still upset that this man, the old Johnny that used to bully him, is still walking around with no repercussions at all. He says he was the biggest bully in his high school. He hasn't changed, and he can prove it. How do you prove it?
Yeah, how do you prove it? Come on, Daniel, prove it.
Just
That's what I was wondering too.
Prove it. It's like, how can you prove it? It's like, all right, I'm gonna mess with him some more, and then here he comes.
I am very proud of Johnny though. In that moment when he did what Miguel told him to do, and he was calm and he breathed and made the fist and did not punch anybody. I was proud.
Meanwhile, here comes fucking Daniel, drop kicking the boba from Cole's hand.
I think Daniel has an anger problem too.
Daniel has anger problems now. Johnny's all like, all right, calm down. What would Mr. Miyagi do? What would Sensei Kreese do? Punch me.
My gosh.
Okay, don't do that.
I cannot stand him.
Oh, you can't wait for him. Never mind. He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, like our reaction towards the fucking last episode. I guess gotta say it. All right. The committee asked Johnny to wait outside while they vote on the outcome of the dojo being stated. After a night of fun, Miguel demonstrates some of his karate skills on Sam, who easily turns the table on him and pins him to the ground with a kiss. Sam pulls some next level experience karate by doing some type of move and then mounts on top of him. Great job there, Sam. And to prove her dominance, calling herself Sensei Sam.
Sensei Sam.
Only again, they could have done without the whole mounting on top of him. like what? Okay. Wow. How old are they?
She was taking control.
Okay.
Of the situation.
Back at the committee, despite Daniel's adamant objections, the committee votes to reinstate Cobra Kai in a 3-2 vote. He walks through the doors in the fit and says, "Congratulations, Johnny," and then walks away.
Yeah, he sounded very petty there.
Congratulations, Johnny. Oh, that is not very. What would Mr. Miyagi think, right? What would Mr. Miyagi say? Like, he went in there, like, I don't care.
He was not channeling his Mr. Miyagi.
Johnny smirks, but then realizes he got his dojo in the tournament. He had that little moment of just like, Daniel's pissed off. Daniel's mad. And they're like, oh shit, my dojo's in the tournament. Yeah, let's go. But it's like his little victory of just beating Daniel for the first time. And yeah, it's the first time. Like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, I got in. Cool. Afterwards, Johnny and Miguel meet up at the dojo to celebrate their respective victories with a toast and champagne. Even though Miguel underage, great job there. All right, writers of the fucking show, what the hell's wrong with you guys? Johnny tells him to drink it; it will put hair in his balls. Miguel asks if that's a good thing. Yeah, Miguel. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. They toast to Cobra Kai and never accepting defeat. The camera zooms in on the poster of the Yell Valley tournament that Johnny just hung up, and the episode ends. Oh man, I love this. uh, eh, everything about this. Favorite scene?
I have a couple. The opening, the scene. I love the fact that they use the whole same thing they did with Mr. Miyagi's techniques in the beginning, and Daniel did it to Robbie. I love that. I love that they had the same music. It's in there somewhere. I can't remember yet, but it's in there. It's the same music. He did almost the same techniques, but threw in some new ones like that car and the stapler thing. And then him saying, "This is I love this part." I love that. I love that beginning part. That was awesome. And then I think, also, so at the golf and stuff, they used the exact same music as they did in The Karate Kid. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, so twice in this episode, they bring back the same music, which I really like. I love that. I love when they bring that stuff back like that. I like that part. And I also like the part where he was listening to Miguel and holding his anger in. I like that one too. So those are my parts.
Lots of callbacks, lots of Easter eggs, of course. The episode started with a callback to the first movie from the classical music to the then transitioning into the old Japanese theme of Mr. Miyagi training young Daniel. We get a mirrored image of Miguel and Sam having fun just like Daniel, and Ali even playing the same song in montage. I enjoyed the ending so much, just putting emphasis that Daniel may have been the hero in the movies, but him getting sour was something that was done in the past and not accepting that people might have changed was grand. And somebody in the committee thought that was petty, so they decided to go against it. Like, fuck you, Daniel. We don't like you. We don't like you in this committee, so I'm just going to go against what you say. The three of them, actually. 2 to 3. So the question for these 2 episodes, and the question for this one as well, what do you still own from your childhood? And the question for this one, if you had a bully in high school and they said they have changed, would you believe them or would you still hold a grudge? Since we were talking about that earlier.
But we already said about the whole from my childhood thing. So
yeah, it's for the question for the audience.
Oh, okay. You're not asking me. Okay, good.
Like not, but the high school bully thing, yeah.
I never had a high school bully, so I guess I can't really say. But in theory, I guess if I had a high school bully, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to. I don't know. I guess people do change. People do change. Yes, I believe that. I don't know about the whole. I mean, they always say you can forgive, but you can't forget. So that's probably would be my thing. If I had a bully, I could probably forgive, but I would never be able to forget type thing if they've changed.
Like the same thing now that I believe, like be petty about it and like don't bully back, but like, you know, you don't need to talk to them anymore. You don't need to interact with them. But at the same time,
I would never do that.
Make sure that they know that you are winning instead of holding back a grudge. Like, oh, I see that you like my stuff, but I don't care. I'm not going to talk to you. I see that you commented on my stuff, but I'm not going to acknowledge you. Don't acknowledge them, just like know that you're winning them. Like even your bullies like you, kind of thing. Like I wouldn't hold a grudge. Like it happened years ago. Like I'm so much better than you right now.
Just show them how much better you are. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Showing them how much better you are.
All right. For these questions, what do you still own from your childhood? And if you had a bully in high school and they said they have changed, would you believe them or would you still hold a grudge? Email me your answers at M3P Network. The number 3, P Network at gmail.com. And I will gladly read it on the air, or if you don't want me to read it on the air, just let me know. But, just let me know your what you think of this, what you thought of the episode, what you thought of that. Answer the questions. Let us know.
I would love to hear some of those answers. So I hope that people, I really would like to hear other people's answers about the childhood, what they still have. And the bully one would be interesting too.
Exactly.
So.
That is going to do it for this episode. We will be back next week with another episode breakdown of season 1 of Cobra Kai on Netflix. We are going to try to break them down right before the new season starts. So join us next week and we will do a scene-by-scene breakdown of episodes 8 and 9 of Cobra Kai. And if you feel you want a little bit more, follow and support us on Instagram, the Thread, YouTube, M3P Network on the Twitter. Follow and join the lives on TikTok at Evolution of the Geek by subscribing or join us. Show up to live streams and hang out with the rest of the M3P community, and I'll shout you out at the end of every episode, like Menace Smiling, Lily Linguini, Brandy, who is on the show now, Lindsay420, Moss Queen, Moonlight Dancer, Alexandria, Queen of Cats 90, Squirrely Bree. Check out her awesome podcast that you just heard earlier. 5 minutes of it. It's law. But, she's on episode 2 right now. Check her out. Let us know what you think. Kimmy, Feeling Free. LB, Ron Snow. JJ, The Jet Pain. Tender Surrender, Forever Jane. Brad Casper 1, Bunny Rabbit. Halls for You Slot. Sonia Rose 78, Dag Runtwitch. Georgia Elizabeth, Poop Purple. Moose Crafty. Poop. Princess and the Herb. Tiffany the Fence Girl. Nerd in Texas podcast. Another one of my favorite podcasters. He's awesome. Y'all should check it out. Nerd in Texas podcast. About to do she asked me to watch Abigail, the movie. It's about vampires, and I'm definitely going to do that. And then we're going to talk about it in the podcast later on her podcast. I'm going to travel over there. We're going to do a little sing. This is the M3P Network tour that we're doing. Oh, I'm not done. Little Creative Tina, Strawberry Milk, Life with Jen, Dan Cordova, Life with Matt, Johnny Lava Lava. And finally, get 20% off on adult toys when you enter discount code EVO at pleasurepassport.shop. That discount code again is EVO. Link will be in the show notes. And thank you for supporting, listening to the podcast, join the TikTok Live, and being a huge part of my third place community. Tell your friends, all of you. Join us next time for more behind-the-scenes stories, movies, and TV show reviews. I'm Evo.
I'm Brandy.
And remember,
strike first.
Strike hard.
No mercy.
No mercy, and good night. Thank you for supporting, listening to the podcast, join the TikTok Live, and being a huge part of my third place community. Tell your friends, all of you. Join us next time for more behind-the-scenes stories, movies, and TV show reviews. I'm Evo.
I'm Brandy.
And remember,
strike first.
Strike hard.
No mercy.
No mercy, and good night.